The following program contains material that viewers may find unsuitable for younger children. A parental control system is advised. The following program contains opinions of the participants and does not reflect the views and beliefs of the Derana Media Network. The network believes in a safe space for all ideas to be expressed without any censorship and on its duty to create such a platform for free speech. Viewer discretion is strictly advised.
Hello, welcome to another fresh episode of TPS, the Public Square on Other Derana News Channel. Now in today's discussion, we are going to revolve around the topic, is Sri Lanka's economy on the right track? Now, we are going to break it down into key 5 areas, I would say, where right now we are facing a bit of a turmoil situation. And to discuss that topic with me, joining from Samagishana Valawegi is Mr. Subhaga Hera. Thank you so much for joining me. And also representing the National People's Power, Mr. Akalanka Senasinghe. Thank you so much for joining me. So, Mr. Hera, I'd like to start from you. So, the question itself is Sri Lanka's economy on the right track? Now, macroeconomic wise, we see improvements, stability is going there. We have so much international organizations, credible organizations telling that Sri Lanka's economy is in the path to recovery, and so is the ruling party. So I'd like to get your side and then move to the response from our government.
Yes, thank you for having me once again. Yes, I do acknowledge that we are in a certain path where macroeconomic, there's a stability for it. Like you said, there are credible organizations that has approved it, has acknowledged it. Yes, at the same time, inflation has reduced. Foreign reserves have improved. Tourism has recovered. But however said, macroeconomic stability, but in the ground reality, see, that is something that is very important that we need to address. The ground reality where people feel the living cost, whether they can buy the same way they bought, let's say 1 year ago or 2 years ago, can they do it with the same income, right? The jobs, graduates are still struggling to find a good job. So why is that? That's because businesses don't have enough roles open for job opportunities. Why is that? Because they don't have proper investment or proper income to expand their businesses. So you see, it's a ripple effect. On paper, on statistics, yes. But the ground reality, the practicality of it, the day-to-day, that is what we are not, we can't call it a success, or we can't call it a correct path itself when things are wrong to a lot of people. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Subhaga. On that note, moving on from my question to you, Mr. Akalanka, now macroeconomic wise, I think you mentioned previously in the program as well that the World Bank also gave a bit of a escalation for us, but now macroeconomically we do have good credit. If you say the remittances have increased, tourism inflows are coming, the post-crisis situation is now pretty much smoothing itself. But the thing is, if we go to a rural area and ask the simple question as, how are you doing? I don't think the answer is going to be much favorable in terms of the government or anyone in the country. So I'd like to get your side of that.
Well, to stabilizing a country, which was a bankrupt country 4 years back, which is not an easy task. So, my learned friend also agreeable that the macroeconomic side, the statistics and the economic growth also, and also the statements of World Bank and other institutions, we have positive notes. Yes, there are, cost of living is pretty much high. It's, in world, all over the world also, prices of the goods, increasing. So we cannot expect the prices of essential goods, there are some essential goods can be reduced, a time like 10 years back time. So, the one aspect is that, people might say that, yes, the prices of essential goods is very high, so it can be reduced. So it's not easy to reduce the prices of essential goods. So, but we are working on that. Now, let's say that prices of, rice, early, like 10 years back, let's say it's 100 rupees. Now it's 200 amount. So we cannot straight away go back to and reduce the prices before the COVID pandemic period. But we can reduce it after taking strategically some certain decisions. So we are planning to still we are restructuring the economy. So it will take some reasonable time. So even you can see in there are some European countries still they are not able to, after the COVID pandemic, still they are not able to recover, as their previous position. But Sri Lanka, by and large we can say, from a bankrupt country, we have moved up to a CCC plus level. And also the economic growth is also, we are still maintaining the 5% of economic growth. And also GDP per capita. The first time in history we have surpassed the $5,000 per.
Mr. Akalang, but all those are like macroeconomic stability factors which are on paper. Again, going to the question, what about those rural areas?
It will take time. Within 1 year we can't get everything. 100% back to normal. So and also we had to face as a country, the external issues like the war in Middle East, and also because of that oil crisis. Still we are spending, we are not a country which producing oil, right? Still we have to pay excessive expenses because we got, last year we got 7 billion income out of exports. Now it has been reduced up to 6.4 billion US dollars. So because the very reason is that we have spent for the crude oil. Within few months, it has reduced up from 7 billion to 6.4 because we had to spend for the crude oil, and we are working on rebuilding oil reserves, and we are planning on that, and also the Trincomalee tanks also. We are planning to reconstruct those tanks, and there's another new project also. And yes, little by little we are stabilizing the country.
Before going to Mr. Hira, I'd like to ask another question now. Sri Lanka is a sovereign independent nation, and now I see constantly in your answer and also all the ruling party representatives answer telling that if we look at the world, in this place it's like this, in this place it's like this, but the thing is we cannot compare those other countries with us, what we have inside our country. And I think utilizing the resources inside our country was something that constantly so many parties mentioned, and even before I've seen that even representatives from your end also mentioning that we have so much in the country, so why have steps not been taken? If you think still, even though we have so much paddy fields in our country, a certain amount of rice is still imported. And if you check raw materials from various manufacturing activities, we have the ability to produce here so much of resources, but still it's been imported. All those imports mean that foreign exchange goes out of the country. So why don't you all take some severe and solid steps on that aspect of this, instead of telling that look at this country, look at that country, and always comparing us with other nations?
Yeah, I'm quite agree with you, but to understand our situation, we have to compare the other countries as well, other developed countries, and also the economical drawbacks that they had faced, and also compare with the drawbacks that we had faced as a country. So without comparing the incidents of the other countries, we cannot address this issue. So,
but haven't those countries in a pattern of being on their own resources? The other countries you all are studying, I would say.
We had some resources, true, but there are some resources we have to spend a lot of money to get the final, the product of that particular resources. Especially we also do have oil reserves, but we have to spend a lot of money to bring out those.
Instead of, and let's not go advanced like oil, because
yeah, I'm just giving one example. Yes. And there are other minerals also. Currently we have increased the export income from jewelry and gems comparing with the last year. So little by little we are progressing. Yes, the tea and other agricultural products, rubber, coconut, there's a slight decrease of our income. But now we are, I mean, the services and other electronic products. I mean, I mentioned in last interview also, we had our income is 1.6 billion. It is slightly, there's a slight growth comparing with the last year. So, like reconstructing the economy and put the country back to normal, and expecting more than 5% growth, and also we should note that we are still under the IMF program. So we have to independent from the IMF program to progress ourselves, because under IMF program, yes, the investors have a green light because we are following fiscal discipline, and properly we are finalizing, we are doing with IMF in positive note. So investors also think about it, they might think about it positively, but we should be, we should independent in 2028. So that also matters. So you cannot expect a progress, I mean a rapid progress. But I would say that by next year, you can see a lot of projects, might be operate, and also you can see there are plants, especially in the direction of the electricity supply, LSG plants, and we have recently we are hoping to reopen, LSG plant which give megawatt 50, right? So those projects are ongoing. There are ongoing projects. So people can expect those, finalization of those projects by next year.
Understood. Mr. Herath, coming to you now, we are not in a situation, I would say, trial and error is an option. Because we are already in a volatile situation. So I think whatever the steps we take has to be very keen, has to be very strategic, and the outcome must be, I think, something positive. So from a different perspective, what do you think that Sri Lanka should do in terms of the microeconomic status to make sure that the country also serves the ground level people along with the macroeconomy as a vast?
Let me answer that question by giving you from a young person's perspective. We have lost confidence in the youth, right? Now, you must have known in the last week, we got the statistics for the amount of birth rate, how much it has gone down. These things don't go down because they don't want to procreate or anything. This has gone down because of the back of their head. They know the responsibility they must take once they get married, once they have children, both. I'm talking about affordable housing, talking about health benefits. I'm talking about once you have a child, how can you put them to school, the medicine you need to give. The next 18 years, you have to take care of this child, right? So you have to give them the confidence. Look, my country is going somewhere, there is something happening here, the economy is going to a certain place where I am confident enough to have a future here, right? So that's microeconomics, because you're now all these young people who are capable, who are skilled, who are not skilled, everybody has a role in society, Everybody's life matters. Every Sri Lankan matters to us. Now when they all leave, so this is something this is one of the biggest indicators that you see when it comes to the ground level. You have no confidence, so they leave. Now let me tell you another ripple effect of what happens here. The same children or the same young people that emigrate and they have their children there, are they eligible to pay taxes here one day? They are not. Because they are born there now, they are born in another country now, right? So you are facing, there's a huge decline here, right? So this is how the ground is being affected. The parents somehow want to send their children abroad. They want them to study abroad, settle there, find a job there, somehow get the visa, even get married to someone there. Or, you guys get married and we will sell everything, you go and settle there. Because this is not going to go anywhere. The confidence is not there. So if confidence is not there, then I can't say, looking at the stats, wow, they're saying 5,000 per capita, so this must be a high-end Colombo price index. But the people cannot afford this. It is simple as that. Now, my friend here said that we are going to have another 50 megawatt power plant, is it?
Yeah, it's a
It's solar or?
battery.
Okay. So again, now see, I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spotlight here. It's just that when you say, we can't do this rapidly, when we can't do this fast, that is not the promise that was given when the campaign went on. It was, we will do it tomorrow. We have the files, we have the evidences, we have the statistics, we have the professionals. We know what to do. We know how to reduce the electricity bill. We know how to reduce the water bill. We know how to increase exports, how to get investments into the country. These were the promises that were given, and it was not said, look, give us 5 years, give us 10 years, we'll make it right. It was, we will do it. We have a plan. Like you said, we are in a very critical moment. This is not a time where we can test. This is not a time where we can experiment. Right? We are responsible for 22 million plus people in this country. So coming into a place where we can say stability, not just macro, but it has to be, like you said, ground level as well. When I go to a person, when I run a small business, so I know how tough it is for my employees. Right? When I ask them, is this salary enough for you to do? No, Mahatma, this is not enough. Can't do this. My cost of living and my income does not match. Now, my problem is, how can I increase your salary if I don't have consumer, if I don't have a demand, right? Because my customers don't have the money to spend for these raw materials, for the consumer product. See, so this is my perspective. The younger people, the senior citizens, they all want to protect their future. And if you can't invest here, if you don't have confidence here, then they will leave. When that's leave, like I told you before, our reserves will go down because there's not going to be a future generation paying taxes here. There are so many issues. I just said one major thing. But that's my answer, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hirath. On that note, unfortunately, we are running out of time in our first segment. So we are going to head into a short commercial break. You're watching TPS, the Public Square on Other Derana News Channel. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TPS, the Public Square on Other Derana News Channel. Now, in today's episode, we were mainly discussing around one topic: is Sri Lanka's economy on the right track? Now, we discuss about the macroeconomic factors, but how's the ground level economic factors doing? If you go near a normal person and ask the simple question as to how we are doing, what would the answer be, and how can we work it around as to what can the government do and what are the opposing views? And next, I'd like to move to something that no man in the world would like to talk about, which is debt. Now, Sri Lanka's debt situation is not something no one wants to talk about, because now in 2028, if I'm correct, we need to start repaying our debt. And with the way things are going, us as normal citizens, even who are not involved in economic or political activities, still would understand the fact that I think when that time comes, when we have to pay, we won't be in an okay situation. So what's the plan? Are we going for another extended fund facility of the IMF? But IMF, being in the IMF means it's not an easy task, because already you all are under so much limitations, if I'm being very frank. So what's the plan on that 2028 debt repayment?
Yeah, I mean, like as you mentioned, I mean, under the IMF program, there are limitations. So we have to maintain the fiscal discipline as well. There are decisions that we should take after the discussions with the IMF officials also. So that with that limitation also, we were able to put the economy in right track. As my but my learned friend mentioned that yes, there are cost of living is high, and also the inflation is also in a situation of 1 digit, still it's like 6%. So what we are hoping to maintain the economy with I mean, we are now we are just started to introducing new especially the new plants, the electronic we have started the battery power plant, so it will release to the the as a part of the electricity in the near future. So, and also we have positive notes in our economy. So the problem is now, yes, we had decreased the the prices of oil price, and also the prices of gas cylinders. So those reliefs we are giving, and also in next budget also we are hoping to give relief for the people. But you cannot expect the make a solution for the entire all problems within
so
1 year.
what's the plan in 2028 as to now? I think it's certainly less than 2 years now we have.
Yeah.
So any solid decisions or discussions going on that?
Yeah, I mean, we are planning to reduce the cost of the electricity. Still, I mean, we are focusing on creating LSG plants. So we have taken that initial step, and also through Praja Shakti program. Now, still we are. I mean, after the Praja Shakti program, maybe before that, people are hoping to. Currently the Astasum program is ongoing. So we are hoping to eradicate that Astasum program through Praja Shakti program. So we still the Praja Shakti, we have created Praja Shakti programs around the country. So more than 11,000 Praja Shakti committees.
Sorry, what does the Praja Shakti program do?
Yeah, I mean, now people are expecting relief, especially who are not doing any job. They are expecting relief from the government. Now, even from Janasavi, and then earlier Samurdhi, and then Astasuma. So we are not getting any productivity out of the individuals.
Because they are depending on the welfare.
Yeah. So under the Praja Shakti program, we are introducing committees. I mean, committees in the particular ward. We are training people for there are lot of courses, bakery courses, and other beauty courses. There are a lot of industries. We are training people rurally, and after that, we are hoping to eradicate the Astasuma program. Currently, it's going on.
Eradicated.
Yeah, we are going to shutting down it after we are completing the Praja Shakti program in 100%, and then through. I mean, there are under the committees should be registered under Praja Shakti program. Then that particular committee. Can
we get any dates or specifications on this?
Yeah, by next year, because it will take time, because a lot of to cover the entire country.
This is to start next year, right?
We have already created committees, and the subcommittees we have to created. I mean, we have to appoint through the people in the board. So ward by ward there are committees. In my ward also there's a committee. So then they are getting funds as a committee, and then they properly share those funds. I mean, the people who are involved. I mean, it's not party loyalists. The people. Especially if there are the Praja Shakti committee, there are 5 members who are professionals, and there are 10 members who are involved in committees, already established committees in the board. So those 15 members initially they are appointed as one particular committee. So then out of that there are another subcommittees who are getting the especially to for certain areas. So the government, through the government, they are giving, the government give money for the training and for their small businesses, and then government spending money for a particular purpose, and then they are getting productivity out of the individuals. Now what was happening now is we are spending it, but we are not getting any productivity. So that plan is also there. So we are hoping to complete those plans within.
I think that's a good initiative to make sure that people does not depend on. I think I bought this previously in our program.
Previously also I have explained.
Because there is an issue that people are.
But the thing is, this is like a very long-term thing. So when it comes to the main question, 2028, how are we going to pay the debts? I don't know whether that will be enough to.
We have, I think, in the history we have paid a lot. I mean, the high amount of debts is 5.6 billion, I suppose, last year. So we are paying, I mean, we have repayment in a proper track.
Don't you think in terms of how Sri Lanka's external sector volatility has changed, do you think paying the amount of debt we have is going to be some kind of a similar situation?
External sector, what you are referring to?
As in if you check the exchange rate and how Sri Lanka has undergone the pressure of, if you check the Middle East war and all the external pressure.
I mean, there are some incidents that it's pretty hard to control. But since of the Middle East war, we didn't find any any oil crisis in country. So the fuel is there. So although the price is little bit high, still we are able to distribute the fuel for the within the country.
Unfortunately, since we're running out of time, I need to get on the debt sustainability basically. So 2028, Sri Lanka is currently under IMF program, which actually forces a lot of limitations for the government also to do certain things inside the ground level. And I think by 2027, we have to have a surplus target of gross domestic product 2.3%, which actually results in limitations for the government to reduce taxes and also spend on like essential services such as medical and transportation. So with an atmosphere like this, in your opinion, what can we do to make sure the debt pressure is not going to be a huge issue in the future?
Yeah, so the thing is this, right now, I've been advocating our exports, our production for a very long time. But now we are reaching that timeline, that, that deadline where we have to pay this debt off. I think that's the problem here now. We can ask this question every time, what can we do, what can we do? But if we are not going to start to do something, we are really running out of time. I actually don't have any confidence in this, in the plan. Now we need to see the numbers, how much we can generate per year or the quarter of a year, and then we have to see what we can do better to improve it, right? If we can do that and come up with a foolproof plan, because this is not a time to test it, like you mentioned before, right? We have a huge debt to pay. Then at the same time, if we think that we can't get there, then we must start renegotiating with the IMF right now itself. Come clean with the numbers, say, look, this is where we are at right now. We have a Middle East conflict as well. So I think the barrel today went again to 100 USD, I think. So these are things that you can always foresee, at least put the blame on external issues, and at least somehow negotiate with the IMF or whatever the other banks, other external organizations that are aiding us, rather than penalizing us, rather than giving a penalty or anything like that, to get a grant, to come to certain negotiation where we can get an extension even. But we can't keep doing this at the same time as well. We can't keep on having this excuse as well. We need to give confidence to the people of our country. We need to give confidence to the investors around our country to come and invest in our country, so that we can start exporting, so that we can finally be, look, we are the ones who are selling this product, this is our price, this is a quality product, buy it from us, rather than we depend on imports. I've said this many times before, we are very lenient on imports. For every single thing, almost every single thing, we have to keep importing. We must start reducing these imports. We must cut this down at least by 50%. And this is not just because we have to pay for 2028. So that in the future also we are very dependent. So we can actually become one day a developed country, rather than always stay in this third world country that we've been here for the past 75 or 100 years. You call it Independence Day or before that or whichever. It's time to modernize, it's time to upgrade, and it's time to go out into the world and show what we can do.
Understood. So with that, we come to the end of our second segment. So we have a lot more to cover. We will return with our final segment. You're watching TPS, the public square on Other News channel. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short commercial break. Welcome back to TPS, the public square on Other Derana News channel. We were discussing around the topic of is Sri Lanka's economy on the right track. We did touch a lot of macroeconomic factors, the ground level situation, and also Sri Lanka's debt repayment in 2028. We got opinions from both sides of the conversation, and now I'm going to. This topic did pop up during our conversation, which is the migration of. I think Mr. Herath mentioned that because the parents doesn't trust the system, they send their children abroad, and also. The skilled people who are in the thriving sectors such as IT and medicine and all are also going out of the country. So I didn't get a chance to put that question to you, Mr. Sena Singh. So I'd like to touch on that because yes, if you take the Praja Shakti program you mentioned, yes, that is going to target the ground level people. Actually,
especially the more small for the small
if
businesses.
That goes right, I think that is a great move because we had a huge problem of the dependency to the welfare provided by the government. So I think that's a good move if it goes right. And now I'd like to focus on a bit more. So we have children who are studying IT, who are studying medicine, engineering, and also there are youngsters who come out of school and might be a huge talent for the country, but their parents send them elsewhere because they cannot, the parents doesn't have the trust in the current system or in the country to keep their children here. So to go ahead, you yourself have mentioned that IT sector is something we need to know, and agrotech, medicine, engineering are, I think, things that is going to sustain for a longer period of time in the industry. So what plans as a government to make sure, I think, the sustainability is the problem here because currently rather than putting all our focus on what we are going through now, I think this is a good time to capitalize on what we are going through and take actions in a sustainable manner so that after the problem is sorted, the actions you all took now would, impact the years to come. So what kind of situation are we?
No, the thing is now still, lot of people, majority of the people or the parents, it has been, for a longer period of time, people, even we all need more money, right? So get more benefit, we are tried, other options as well. So it comes, I think that trend is coming like since last 30 years, 20, 30 years. So people are willing to migrate from the, Sri Lanka. So we are hoping to build new sectors, and also we are planning to, we are bringing up new acts, especially the legislature, especially the State-Owned Enterprises Management Act, and there are other legal reforms we are hoping to bring up within this year. So after, with the current system, especially the government sector. So private sector, it's government. What government can develop the government sector. Private sector, it's the individuals have to make their effort, and what government could do, reducing the taxes and encourage them. So we are still not in 100% control because of the IMF program. For some tax reductions, we have to get we are still reluctant because to maintain the fiscal discipline, we have to do it in a certain percentages. So we are hoping to, create an IT hub in Sri Lanka, and also especially those who in IT field, which will encourage because of that. So, but it will take a little bit time. So, and but the thing is that the people, who are planning to migrate, Sri Lanka. There are some incidents that they have migrated to Sri Lanka, even the bankers, and then they return back to Sri Lanka because they are not getting any proper jobs. So that issue also there. Although they are migrating, they are not, living there continuously. So what I can comment is that don't lose your faith. Still, we need a pretty much reasonable time to reconstruct the current economy. So it cannot be done within a 1 year. So we have to legislate new legislative amendments and new enactments to reconstruct it. Then we can execute it. Otherwise, with the current acts, there are obstacles, especially I think my learned friend mentioned in previous interview also, we are not getting any foreign direct, very few foreign direct investments. Because of that, the bars of the legislature. So we have to ease those bars as well. So we are planning to do it nearly in another 6 months time. So people have to be patient, wait patiently and see, about the progress of the government. And then they can, after the end of the term, they can decide, comparing the work we had done up to that stage. So currently we are planning to reconstruct in the model of the economy in Sri Lanka. So for that we are bringing up new, especially the State-Owned Enterprises Management Act. Through that we are hoping to change this particular model. And yes, we are, people mandated us, not solely, most of the people expecting us to maintain the uncorrupted country. They didn't expect us that, I'm not saying that we are not getting out from that responsibility, but people, we got this mandate solely, most people voted us because they expected us to maintain this country as an uncorrupted country, and also those who done wrong, file, take file cases, especially the criminal matters through relevant authorities. So we are doing that from the beginning. We are doing that properly. Not like just filing cases against the popular people. If we are getting pretty much strong evidence, we are filing cases. And also it was, the cases are still here, still we are in the initial stage.
Yeah.
So that's we are doing. Stabilizing the economy is a different matter. It's not easy comparing, maintaining uncorrupted country. So comparing those issues are totally different issues.
Thank you, Mr. Sinasinghe. We are running out of time, so I'd like to move to Mr. Herath on the skill migration, because you brought it to the table. I think you were,
Yes.
if you have anything to counter strike
Yes.
that, and also if you can merge your final remarks.
Sure. Let's look at it this way. In 2022, we had 310,000 people leaving the country for jobs specifically, right? Then in
Which year again?
22,
22.
right? In 23, we had 297,000 people leaving again specifically for jobs. In 24, we have 314,828 people, which is the highest recorded, leaving for jobs. So that means altogether there's around 900,000 people who has left. That is around 1.7% of our total population, right? So again, this is a clear indication there's no confidence to have a future in this country. They might say, yes, we want to come back one day after collecting amount of money, blah, blah, blah. But again, you have to give them that confidence now. Again, you have to show them the results. Okay, now we can come back and settle. But highly doubtful that they come back and settle if they're doing well in those countries. Good if they return. We need our people back. But the current situation is as such where people are migrating. I'm having the hard time, let's say for example, selling my property, selling my land for example, because everyone is selling. Everyone is leaving. I'm in the construction industry, right? So I know that there are people leaving. And there are so much of vacant land where they're trying to sell for a lower price just to get out of the this situation, which is very sad, to be honest. I try to always tell all the youth people, young people, stay here. The opportunity is great here. We do have, like you said, have faith. Even though I'm in the opposition, I say have faith. We'll somehow try to get out of this. So as a closing remark, as you mentioned, to me, success is not measured through GDP growth or inflation, right? It is measured where every citizen has an equal benefit in succeeding in their life. As a politician or as the role of a government, it is the responsibility for us to gap the bridge between poverty and prosperity, right? If certain people are benefiting from this and the others, the rest of us are struggling, then we have not really truly achieved progress. You know, our responsibility is to reduce inequality, strengthen the middle class, protect the vulnerable, and to ensure that every Sri Lankan has access to quality education, quality health benefits, employment, you know, and other equal opportunities. So the government's only role is not to put criminals in jail or to grow the, or not to only grow the economy, but it is also to make sure that the benefit of that growth is equally distributed among all Sri Lankans. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Herath. And with that, we are coming to the final minutes of our program. So I'd like to thank Mr. Subhaga Herath, representing the Samagi Jana Balawegi, for joining us. Thank you very much. And always, Mr. Akalanga Senasinghe, representing the National People's Power. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you for watching TPS, the Public Square, on Ada Derana News Channel. We'll return next week, same place, same time, with another fresh episode where we discuss a valuable topic just like this. Thank you. Have a good night.